So the Fyre Festival is the first one.
It was a documentary. It came out on Netflix. We all watched that thing. We were like, how in the world could this guy not be in jail for the rest of his life? But he's not. He's out, and he's doing a second one. And I just can't believe that anybody would be dumb enough to buy a ticket.
Mm-hmm. This was down near the Bahamas somewhere, right?
I thought it was. I can look up.
Yeah, it was the Bahamas. And
they Kendall Jenner and everybody, they paid all
the
those
first Fyre Festival was promoted on Instagram with all these models. Kendall Jenner was one of them. And they said, well, we didn't really know what we were promoting. We just got paid for a gig.
But she got paid a lot. She got paid $250,000, I believe, was the figure. And my whole thing is, if you're accepting that much money to do an endorsement, you should know the product. Like, for instance, on this show, we all represent, or we'll talk about certain things when we do commercials. And absolutely, I will have to know about the product. I will have to really believe in the product to talk about it. I'm not going to just say something not knowing anything about it.
Well,
and that's what's so reckless about the influencers.
The model's excuse was they were told it's going to be a music festival. How were they supposed to know it wasn't actually going to happen?
Because it sounds legit. You got Ja Rule.
And I
came
feel
out
like
looking so horrible.
You can believe that because you had your person that presented this to you say Ja Rule and this group of organizers want to do this awesome festival in Mexico.
They can show you PowerPoint.
Here's the PowerPoint. Here's what you're going to promote. Okay, great. I'll put this bikini on. Let's take the picture.
So the first one was near the Bahamas. This new one was supposed to be near Cancun.
Okay.
Sam was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a complete disaster. Billy McFarland is a complete con artist. If you watch the Fyre Festival documentary on Netflix, you just want to punch this guy in the throat. Yeah. He is a total con artist and has always been. That would
be the best punch. Either the nuts or the throat.
He's so cocky.
Yes. And he's a shyster. He's a swindler, Sam. Because if you watch the Fyre Festival documentary, all of his job as an adult has been to swindle you out of money. Some fake card in Manhattan that gets you some VIP access to something. It's a shell game. It was always a shell game.
He's charging these people all this money, and they basically were getting a crappy tent.
Well, and all he got was being convicted of wire fraud in connection with the 2017 failure. And he really should have gone to jail for more than that, but he didn't. Okay, anyway, he arrogantly comes back and says, well, I'm going to do another one. It's going to be great. Well, that's been postponed now, and all they're saying is that they don't have a new date yet. They'll let you know. It's supposed to happen May 30th to June 2nd.
What's that phrase? A fool and his money are easily parted.
Yep.
Fool me, can't fool me again.
An old Texas saying.
Fool me, can't fool me again. I don't understand. It was supposed to happen in Playa del Carmen. I don't understand how anybody who saw that first Fyre Festival or heard of it.
People want to be part of the chaos.
Was like, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, $2,000, my hard-earned money.
Right there.
Why do people want to go to like haunted houses where like there's a big murder and they want to spend the night at a place? Like they get
your
some
first statement
dopamine. They get some they get high off this stuff.
Dopamine hit. Yeah.
Okay, I get that. That's a quick in and out, though. This thing is like you're planning to go on vacation to a place that already is being promoted by swindlers.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. I would have red flags.
They want to be part of the event.
Sam runs towards red flags and knows this one's so bad.
I know.
If they said we're going to do the Titanic tour, we built the same ship, we're going to do the same route, same time,
which they are doing,
I don't want to be on that.
And they could do all that. People will be like, hell yeah! I'm like, why?
Why?
I don't want to be on that.
Because the first one ended so well.
No technology. We're not going to use any. We're going to use whatever they used back then.
Oh God, no!
Well, I think that would deter a lot of people because they want their phones.
Out there that would do it.
Yeah, they're like, we want to.
I'd bring my own life jacket.
Yeah.
Why do people
do freeze to death? You got to bring.
You'll still freeze to death. Remember, they didn't drown; they froze to death.
Bring your own raft. Like those ones that fold up.
Oh yeah.
Or like what surfers wear when they go.
Yeah, wetsuit. Yeah.
I think you still would freeze to death. That water was crazy.
With my Uggs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think your Uggs is going to do
your
any good.
Will weigh you down, sink you like a stone.
You pass Leo faster than...
Listen, the Titanic has had a world traveling museum tour, right? It's traveled. The exhibit has traveled the world. And when I was in Vegas one year with my husband, it was at the Luxor Hotel. That's the only time I've ever been inside the Luxor. And I was like, okay, let's go see this thing. They have this.
Carrot Top couldn't get you in the Luxor?
No, they could not.
Titanic.
And there's a part to it that I think they even had it in the Houston tour where it's a block of ice and it's a big block of ice and you're supposed to put your hand on it. And it says, how long can you keep your hand on this block of ice? Because this is the temperature of the water that people plunged into. And the most you could hold was maybe like 30 seconds maybe, and your hand would be burning from like how cold it got. You couldn't feel it.
So you're saying most of these people, they were dead from hypothermia?
Yeah, 100%. I remember that was, I've watched a lot of Titanic stuff, and I think I've been like a Titanic freak kind of since that was my first book report ever, was the Titanic.
Oh.
It was about
That's
the night.
funny
a night
that you remember that.
Yes, because it was the first time I had to write a report on something when I was in elementary school.
What did they teach you back then about Rose and...
Jack and Rose. They were not real
We
people,
didn't
Eric.
have that. We didn't have that.
Right.
But it sparked my interest in Titanic. And ironically, though, as much as I had done all this research and watched all these things over the years on Titanic, when the actual motion picture came out, I was one of the last ones to see it.
Really?
It was in the theater for a year before I saw it.
How's that
Wow.
happen?
Probably because you had your own vision. You didn't want the movie to like switch it up. You know,
remember-
like when
'cause
you
remember
picture
we-
something and then
Yeah.
somebody tries to picture it elsewhere.
If you read a
and then-
book and
It's,
Yeah,
and
and
it's so
it's not
odd,
the
Sam,
same.
because I used to watch a lot of movies because that's just what you did. But I remember the song was on the air with the dialogue in it. Remember, we would play Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
Oh, yeah.
with the cuts of Jack and Rose in
was a
it,
big
and
thing
I
in the-
still hadn't
In the
seen the
90s,
movie.
they like to mix the sound clips, and they did it with Jerry Maguire.
That was
Bruce
good.
Springsteen song.
Streets
Secret
of
Garden.
Philadelphia.
No, Secret Garden, not
Yes.
Streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Maguire was in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
That's a whole different storyline. No, it was not. But yeah,
The song's playing. He goes, "What's that on your forehead?"
I don't think they put that on there.
that's very odd. That's very odd. Okay,
my God.
how about this? When I was in high school, I used to watch movies all the time. That's just what you did. And there's an article about what most Americans remember about high school the most. If you peaked in high school, I really feel sorry for you because everything went down from there. When I was in high school, life was so awesome. I
Your
feel like-
Uncle Rico from
high-
Napoleon Dynamite.
High school, for some reason, those 4 years or 5 years in some people's cases
Yeah.
are just, it's such a core memory for everybody. It's crazy.
Because you had
Found that
prom, you had
college was more of a
homecoming,
core
you had
memory.
dances, you had sports, you had your
Everyone
friend
has to go
circle,
through high school, Ryan.
parties.
Not everyone goes to college.
That's
Right.
true. But I'm just saying,
Everybody goes through
personally,
high
I have much more fond memories the college days.
That's because Taylor High School, you were not treated well.
You were the king of the castle.
I'm in their Hall of
You
Fame.
got swirlied every day.
I did not get a swirly.
You're in their Hall of Fame now because of what you do.
Yeah,
you
you had
didn't
the
get your
radio.
Hall of Fame while you were a student.
Was because of anything you
Right.
did there.
No, it was not academic success, that's for sure.
Or playing on the football team.
No way.
The survey asked American adults to reflect on their high school years. What do people remember the most about high school? We'll go over this next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.